religious organizations, faith-based organizations, by default, they strongly believe of supporting everyone. And once it comes to the support, basically to us at Islamic Relief and our understanding as a Muslim American faith-based organization, according to our Islamic law and the Quran as well, has been stated in many occasions that we should feed people. We should feed the needy people, no matter what their color, religion, nationalities. So this is the big sign for us. And I strongly believe that it is unfortunately missing within the policymakers to pay enough attention to this matter and to use and to utilize the soft power of the religious organization. Still the religious organization, not just in America, everywhere. They have their way influencing people, how to interact, how to do good stuff. G20 is a platform. I'm honored to be among the attendees. This is my first year, but my organization has been participating. I have been following the activities of the G20. I think this is the right approach for all of us as a humanitarian organization to support them, to make sure that their voice will be heard by the policymakers in Washington, D.C., to make sure that they're going to produce more policies and they're going to find a way to help the organizations to implement the strategy of supporting others, especially the faith-based organizations, which is the main project that Islamic Relief is adopting, which is fighting hunger and food security. Yes, I strongly believe that this is a goal that all of us can achieve as a humanitarian organizations. As the president mentioned, I want to echo his strategy. Number one, educating the local communities about the importance of food security, supporting each other, helping each other, empowering. An idea started in America, and now I see it everywhere, traveling around the globe, which is the food banks. Food banks should be adopted by every single small city. Big organizations such as Islamic Relief and other many organizations should have it as a part of their educational process and system, changing the donor behavior. We have many donors that they own companies and they just paying donation and contributing to Islamic Relief projects based on the goal that Islamic Relief, for example, is setting. I think all of us as a human faith-based organization, we should adopt the culture to be able to change the mindset of our donors to contribute more toward that. And we're going to find many of them, many across our organizations contributing to that. I witnessed that during COVID. We have seen the situation in the United States. Many communities were suffering and many other communities were panicking what's going to happen. So Islamic Relief adopted this strategy of training more than 300 Islamic centers across the nation, that they should start immediately building their own social services, working and hiring the young youth to deliver food across their cities. And I have seen it myself in Chicago, New York City, and Detroit. And we reached the point that our main partner, which is one of the main Islamic centers in Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, Islamic Center of Detroit. Now, almost after 3 years, they were able to build their foundation, and they became the second largest food distribution center in Michigan State. And they are receiving money from Islamic Relief, from the local donors, Muslims and non-Muslims, and from the federal as well. So I think it is a goal that we all can achieve. Based on that, Islamic Relief changed their strategy once it came to the food security, and we were able recently to get the approval for 3 trucks, food trucks. We're going to start from New York City, Detroit, Michigan, and Chicago, Illinois. 3 trucks donated by donors that they love the idea. They said, we're going to donate everything, including the running cost. This is something will cost us close to $10 million over 3 years. So this is the thing that we have been dreaming of 4 years ago, and now we are living this dream. 3 trucks, and we're going to keep moving forward to make sure that this is something we're going to taking it to the national level. Number one, as I have heard from many other friends, different faiths, is that in different religions, we're going to find that in the holy books, talking about feeding hunger. So it is there by default. It is there by default, more than any other thing. Talking about crisis, talking about refugees, talking about woman empowerment. So you're going to find the text everywhere encouraging us to feed people. So it is there by default. So you need leaders to understand how we're going to package the message. Secondly, and I really like the way that you firmed my point, we need to reach out to the local businesses to be able to change the mindset of the local community, that you have to find ways yourself to be part of that. Because unfortunately, for many years, our big donors, our donors everywhere, they are waiting for us to come up with programs and projects. I think this is the time for us to have some sort of round table with the local communities, asking them, what do you think of 1, 2, 3? How are we going to be part of the fighting hunger? How are we going to be part of the food security? Because we have seen people during pandemic, same example that I gave, we have seen the community at large trying to do something good. So I think this is the time for the humanitarian sector to make sure how we're going to include the private sector with us, how we're going to include the new generation with all of their sophistication and using and utilizing the technology. So I think this question should be asked for the leadership of the humanitarian sector. I'm one of them. We have to open the door, how we're going to utilize the volunteers, how we're going to share with them the strategies that we are pushing for. I love the theme. So before I depart, as I just told you, I came straight forward from Atlanta. So I took a screenshot of the program and I shared it with the family group, my wife and my 2 boys. So I told them I really love the theme. So the theme is amazing. We should find way to make sure how we're going to think about others from many different perspectives. One of them is that just think about your own self. If you're going to face the same crisis that other family, other neighbors are facing, if food crisis, for example, health sector, you name it, just think about it. If you are the one who's in need and facing this crisis, how are you going to act? How are you going to react? And this is basically what I shared with my kids. I have 2 boys, 17 and 13. And sometimes, many times, because I don't have enough time to be creative, so I just talk to them. So I shared the theme with them and I asked them, how can we implement this theme within the community at large, not just to the American Muslim community, our community at large. And community to me is every human being in America or outside America. So I think if we're gonna engage the volunteers, engage all of these people with us, they're gonna come up with many ideas and they're gonna feel that they are not just a donor. And this is one of the things that I love to share usually with my team members. Changing the donor behavior is a big theme. The question, how are we going to change that? Make sure that the donor is basically thinking the way that we are thinking of the needy people on a daily basis. You're going to find the donor himself or herself coming up with new ideas, and sometimes we need ideas the way that we need money. This is an amazing initiative. As much as we're collecting money, as I just mentioned, sometimes money is sitting in our banks and we are missing the policy. An amazing platform such as the one that we are attending this week, just to make sure that we have the right people talking on behalf of the humanitarian sector globally to the decision maker everywhere. So I really appreciate that, and thanks so much for having me.